we all have that dream of getting big and famous and making a lot of money off of our music. But the sad reality is that it's just probably not going to happen for most of us. Almost all of us. So if you're really interested in getting into music and your main goal is just to get rich and famous and get a lot of money from it, good luck, because that's probably not going to happen. Few reasons for this is the competition is ridiculous, especially with recording software becoming easier to use and less expensive. The amount of people trying to get somewhere in music right now and that are putting out music right now is just ridiculous. There are so many people out there trying to do the same thing you are. And because of that, there's a lack of potential for innovation. A lot of people's ideas have already been done 100,000 times again, and it's really hard to come up with something really new and unique. And when you can finally do that, that's awesome. But the chances of you doing that and then being able to turn around and sell that to people for a profit is really low. It's also a lot more time consuming than it is rewarding, at least financially. I will spend months and months and months and months on an album and then release it and then put it on CD Baby and, spend all the money on it, and I get 50, 60 downloads. Great. If I was a company and that was my income for my product and what I did, I would be out of business within months. It's not worth it monetarily. If you really want to make music, you have to love what you're doing and you have to be passionate about it, and just do it because you love it and do it because it's what you almost need to do. People will be able to tell pretty quickly if you're only in it for the money, and people will not vibe with that, especially if they are the type that are just doing it because they love it and doing it because that's what they feel their calling is. We can spot you. We can spot you real quick, and we generally don't want to work with you. To kind of build off of that, quality work takes years and years and years and years to produce. One of my favorite quotes that I have heard was actually from a site called Cloud Killers a while back. It was like a music critique site. It was overnight success takes about 10 years, and man, is that true. That's pretty much like at least how long it's going to take you to like really get to master something and really start to figure things out and like put out good work. It takes a long time. And if you're trying to get into music to like, I'll put this album out and then like I'll start playing shows and I'll be touring within a year. Like, well, yeah, you can do that, but the only people that are really able to do that have so much money already that they're able to promote their stuff and back it in ways that most people aren't able to. Another thing, you have to realize a lot of people will look at labels as their like way to break into the music scene. Oh, once I get signed, I'll be great. Well, one thing a lot of people don't realize about record labels is most of them are more or less just banks with a cool logo. They're going to want to loan you money, and they're going to want that money back. That's why they have contracts, and that's why they're hard to get out of and generally aren't in your best interest. Now, this is not always the case. I guarantee you there are a lot of solid labels that really will help you out and do a lot of great work. But be very careful when you are looking for a label or when labels approach you, especially if labels approach you, because there's a lot of people that just want to feed off of your need to be heard. It also sort of feels like the interest in just music by itself is slowly, I don't want to say dying, but it also seems like the interest is slowly sort of dying. And I don't mean that people don't really care about music anymore. I'm just saying that people tend to have a much shorter attention span with it. Like, I don't know, when I was a kid, I used to listen to albums for days on end, and I would just listen to the same album over and over again. And nowadays, I feel like a lot of people just, will listen to a few songs, but there's so many bands and artists out there that it's easy to get distracted from one band, and, it's harder to really find a connection with a new band that you really, really like. And also, shows don't pay anything. Royalties don't pay anything unless you're dealing with a lot of money and a lot of production and a lot of businessy stuff. You're probably not going to make hardly anything on shows for years, and you're probably not going to make anything on streaming royalties. Most people don't make anything on streaming royalties, even some of the best bands out there that are touring all over the place. Well, the reason they're touring all over the place is because they need to sell their band merch so they can actually support themselves and be successful as musicians, because their streaming royalties and their shows just aren't paying the bills. It sucks, but this is reality. And once you can accept this and just take this to heart, I feel like you can really, really do something about it and adapt to the way the music industry is nowadays. Well, what do you think? Is there anything I'm missing? Anything I forgot about? Let me know in the comments. Let's have a discussion about it. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe and like the video, and I will see you in the next video.